stand there all alone. Oh, I cannot explain what's going down. I can see you standing next to me, in and out, somewhere else right now. You sigh, look away. I can see it clear as day. Close your eyes, so afraid. Hide behind that baby face.
And basically, that field was the field in which they trained. That field in Haiti. We had two guys come with us from Port-au-Prince who definitely had a wider skill set than the guys down in Manège. There were some plasterers there, but not much else. I mean, you have to understand that when we arrived on the site, we got together a crew of people to start working. There wasn't a pencil on the site. There wasn't a single hand tool. There wasn't a screwdriver. No one had a knife. No one had anything. And so even finding a compressor turned into a real nightmare. I passed on what little knowledge I'd gained to them, and they, being very smart guys, figured out the best way to use it with a bit of instruction, and set about putting a thin layer of essentially shotcrete on the outside of the airfoil. You know, I said to Nolan that we encountered many problems down there and many failures in equipment, and not one of them happened with his equipment that he sent me. So it's a sort of rare honour, really, that nothing that from mortar sprayer, failed. Everything else failed because that's the nature of the beast down there. We were using a lot of cement in our mix because it's thin shell. And I guess I can't quite remember how much water we were putting in, just enough to get it through to mix it. We actually got hold of everything you buy in Haiti, the first breaks. So obviously the first cement mixer we bought broke. And the second cement mixer, a brand new sort of $3,000 machine that we got in Port-au-Prince, was missing nuts and bolts. Because that's how it is. And but we mixed it up in a cement mixer. They could have mixed it by hand, but I wanted it to be a little bit more consistent in the mix, so we bought a cement mixer. And they would put it into a wheelbarrow and run it round to where the guys with the mortar sprayer were, and he would dunk it in the wheelbarrow and chuck it on the airfoil. Obviously his equipment worked very well. The guys using it understood it really quickly, got a feel for it really quickly, found the maximum way, the best kind of way to use it. As people who build do, they find the easiest way to do something pretty quickly. And, I intend to use it on any eco-shell building projects that I'm involved in.
Okay, here we are on the foundation. We've prepared a ditch that is 18 inches deep to pass codes for this area. to get a depth that is necessary for what they call for frost thrust protection, or frost heave, and that's so that moisture doesn't freeze down at that depth and actually cause the house to lift up. Not so much a problem with the monolithic casting of the parabolic stress skin process, because it's all one solid piece, and so it wouldn't actually cause a crack like a brick house would, because we have a lot of active tensile reinforcing. So this is very much like a boat hull. In fact, this is very similar to the way people build boats. But back to the foundation, this is our EPS polystyrene foam, and the bottom piece of foam here is rated at 25 psi. So this even though this is made with primarily lightweight cement, this is still a massive construction, extremely heavy walls, because they're going to be supporting the roof as well. But this is an engineered design, and this blue foam is more than adequate to be able to take that weight. And we feel that it's really important for this home to perform thermally, to have a fully insulated form, and we're going to have radiant floor heat on the inside. And by insulating this all the way around, we're creating we're changing the thermal dynamics of the thermal performance of this home quite a lot. It won't allow the heat to get away as easily. It's like having, instead of being sitting on the cold ground, it's gonna save a lot more energy. It'll retain its heat, because that heat's not gonna really easily get out through the foundation. And so what we do here, we prepare the foundation so these will fit. We use these as test fits, and as we level the foundation, the base of this with sand, so that we get a good solid connection on the bottom of this. So we've compacted this and cut it down with so that we can get it pretty flat, and then we put these in one at a time, drop them down. And part of the procedure is here, we want to double check that when you walk on this, it's pretty stout, it's pretty solid, and that you can feel that it's not bending or there's no cavities underneath. And then that it's up to the ground level, and this is how we're going to be working this. We're going to take those pieces of the lath, and one at a time, and plaster them in. So we'll be working on the knees and everything, but I don't know if if any of you have had experience with doing regular concrete foundations. This might seem more labor intensive, but 2 days of work with 2 guys without any expensive forms, and this is something that we can mix on our own. So it does come out a little less expensive. And so that's how these fit in there, and we just put our lath in. Well, first we plaster it and embed the lath, and there it is.
Like yesterday, as I recall, you were looking out of place, gathered up your things and slipped away.